What's up, guys? It's A's Ka. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, this isn't the top 10 Game Boy Advance video games. And yeah, you're right. I'm gonna make this video instead. Are you gonna watch it? Probably not. But I'm gonna make it anyway because I've been struck by inspiration and I feel like uploading a video that's several hours long and nobody wants to watch. Well, anyway, we're ranking One Piece characters, and we got to get some. I can't just be my voice this whole time. We got to get some tunes in the background, so we got a little playlist here, and let's get started. Why don't we just get started, right? So we got to get all the straw hats out of the way, right? Luffy, he's the main character, right? So he's pretty good. Like, is he best of the best? Like, I kind of want to reserve best of the best for characters that are, best of the best. Like, there are characters I like more than Luffy, that's for sure, but he's still pretty good. He's done a wide variety of things to make him very likable. He is very, like, typical shonen protagonist, like, he's just kind of dumb and does whatever he wants. I'm not saying he's like the exact same as Goku, Naruto, or Ichigo or something, but he has several qualities that are pretty, you know. But again, this manga came out in 1996, so it's not like he's copying other people. He's more like the inspiration for other shonen going forward. But anyway, he's top tier. I'm not going to put him in best of the best, but he's top tier. Zoro, I used to actually not like Zoro very much until I went back through the series and watched it again. And then when I read the manga, so basically, I get this out of the way, I guess. I've watched the anime at least like 3 times all the way through, but I've only read through the entire manga all the way up to where it currently is now just once. And I didn't really appreciate Zoro my first few times going through the series until I kind of, he's always had the scene on Thriller Bark with, okay, this is major spoilers, by the way. This video's gonna have tons of spoilers. Probably should have said that, but just like him and Kuma on Thriller Bark, and he's saying nothing happened. Everybody knows, like, that's the Zoro scene, right? But he's done a lot of other things too, like believing in Luffy first and foremost. The Thriller Bark scene is an example of that, but like his scene with Mihawk declaring that he's never going to lose again, or showing Luffy that he respects him. He kind of being the second in command, like even on Water 7 when Usopp is leaving the crew and kind of stepping up to that like vice captain position. He's really done a lot of really cool things that I didn't really catch on the first time through. He's better in hindsight, I think, when you realize his growth in not just as himself but as a member of the overall crew. He's an important member. They all are, of course, but he's done some great things. Now, Nami, on the other hand, not always been a fan of her. Her weather ability is pretty cool, and actually during Wano so far she has been way better than she ever has been. I don't know if this probably hasn't been animated yet, but the scene where she's fighting Ulti, and she's just like, Luffy and Ulti's holding her up, and she says, "If you don't say that Kaido's the best, I'm gonna kill ya." And she's like, "I'm sorry, but Luffy's gonna be the Pirate King." And it's just that was an amazing scene for her. That really just did a whole lot for her character for me. But still, compared to everybody else on the crew, she's kind of down there. Usopp is best of the best. That's no question. He's had probably, every character has had a decent amount of development, but I think Usopp, starting from where he was in Syrup Village all the way up to where he is now, like, if he wanted to quit now and say that he's a brave warrior of the sea, he's accomplished his dream already. He already is a brave warrior of the sea, but obviously we got to go to Elbaf, so we can't count him out yet. But also his arsenal. Personally, I did really like him more before the time skip, before he had all the plants. Plants are really cool, don't get me wrong. But I liked him more when he had, like, gadgets and knickknacks. He was shooting rotten eggs and hot sauce and stuff. It was a little bit more creative. I mean, you can do some creative stuff with the plants, like the giant Venus flytrap and the bamboo shoots and stuff. It's pretty cool. But a lot of the time, sometimes it feels like his abilities are what's the term? They're super convenient. You know what I mean? Like the banana boat, he just happens to have a boat when they need one, or the trampoline, he just happens to have the trampoline when they need one. Like, obviously, it just feels like his overall like kit has gotten a little bit too catch all as opposed to specifically being a sniper. And I hope that when he inevitably throws down with Van Augur on Blackbeard Pirates, that he's got a little bit more sniper rather than plant. But we'll see. Sanji is... I'm gonna have to put him down here. I know there are Sanji lovers, and there's probably more Sanji haters than there are Sanji lovers. Now, I don't despise him, but he's really he was a great character for a good chunk of the story until Oda started writing him just basically as more of a pervert and less of a chef, and he's just kind of always been that way. And the fact that he's a chef never really shines through. I mean, Whole Cake Island is the obvious major exception to this. And he got pretty good development during Whole Cake Island, so you know what? I'll move him up to mid at least. Whole Cake Island did help him out a little bit, but the most egregious thing for me, I mean, there's a few things. The lesser of the two evils I'm going to speak about is the nosebleed on Fishman Island that became a plot point, like a major plot point, that the Straw Hats got caught because Sanji had such an epic nosebleed. Like that that was just horrible, like awful writing. I love One Piece and I love Oda, but you know, that's just, I hate that. But the most egregious thing, and I know there are people who might disagree with this view, but he quite literally knew the stakes that were at hand in NS Lobby, or Ennie's Lobby, however you want to say it. And he went against Khalifa, and he refused to hit her, even though Robin had just gave her "I want to live," you know, big speech, and was counting on all of them to save her. And he knew that he had to save her, but he said, "Well, you're a girl. I lose. I can't get past that. That's really horrible." And I hope that something like that doesn't happen again. I know in Wano it sort of happened, where he was going up against Black Maria, and she was like, you know, "Oh, I've captured you because you won't fight back," and Sanji's like, "Argh." But it was less egregious there. I mean, obviously everybody's counting on the Straw Hats once again, but it wasn't in direct relation to a crew member, so it doesn't feel as much of a personal attack. It's still pretty bad, but it didn't hit as hard as the Robin incident. Anyway, so Sanji's mid. He's probably going to be the lowest ranked Straw Hat here. I don't like him very much. Chopper is pretty good. Yeah, hey, there's a tier for that called pretty good. I did like him. But once again, it's one of those post time skip things where I think Oda kind of ruined what made him cool, in my opinion. He's still a doctor, which is very interesting. But his Monster Point thing, where he would take 3 rubber balls and he would turn into Monster Point, but he couldn't control his, Monster Point. That was a really big, risk-reward kind of thing. Like, oh, well, we're fighting against this big enemy, but if I take Monster Point, I might not be able to control myself, and I'll go wacky, crazy. And now after the time skip, he can just completely control it. It took away that aspect of it. And also, I'm just not really sure about the actual physical design of him. His new hat, I'm really not a fan of, because Dr. Hiluluk gave Chopper his hat, and it's still kind of there. Like, it still has the cross, but I don't like how his hat changed. but you know, there's got to be some kind of visual difference to tell them apart. And Chopper changed the least visually besides his hat, so I guess we gotta live with it. Robin, she's top tier. I don't know if I'd put her in best of the best. She's very powerful, honestly. I might put her in best of the best. She has a lot of like huge, like, overarching lore implications, like just the fact that she can read the poneglyphs, and I mean, now we know that there's other people who can, but she is one of probably like 5 or 6 people who can read the poneglyphs, right? Her character arc being tied to like the big overall narrative of the story really elevates her and makes her a much more important character. And I think her power is really cool too. The Hana Hana no Mi is a really cool ability, and Oda doesn't utilize it as much as he could, but obviously I think if Robin could really do, you know, anything that she wanted, she'd probably end a lot of fights very, very quickly. I would really, really like for her to bust out armament hockey against Black Maria, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I think it would be really cool. Yeah, I mean, she's a good character. I'll put her in best of the best, but below Usopp, because, you know what? I'm going to move Zoro above Luffy. Now, since I'm kind of ordering them, I'm going to actually put some thought into how they're ordered in each tier. So, that's how it's going to go for now. Frankie is best of the best. Post time skip, and even pre-time skip, honestly, he hasn't really done a whole lot, but he is really fucking cool. I mean, I know the whole like mecha thing just makes him super flashy and crazy. Honestly, maybe I shouldn't put him in best of the best, but I'll still put him above Zoro in top tier. He has done cool stuff, but he hasn't. You know, he's kind of got a Brook situation going on before Brook went to Whole Cake Island. Now, I will say he did have a scene. He's had a few scenes in Wano where I can't remember who said it to him, but they were like, you know, watch out, that's Big Mom, that's a Yonko, and Frankie was like, yeah, we're on the Pirate King's crew. We're gonna be afraid of a little Yonko. Like that was awesome. So Frankie is good. I really like him. You know, Miracle Beam, Frankie Nipple Lights. He's very, very cool, and I like the gadgets and gizmos that he brings to the Straw Hats, as well as Iron Frankie, of course. Iron Frankie finally got like a real chance to shine in Wano against Sasaki. But we haven't really seen a whole lot of fights with it, besides the one on Fishman Island where he was just fighting a bunch of fodder. So I hope we get to see more of that, and I guess you can't talk about Frankie without talking about his fight against Baby 5, or not Baby 5. God, I always get those two mixed up, because, you know, he is, like, dressed like a baby, and there's another character named Baby 5, but no, Senior Pink. His fight against Senior Pink made that fight. And Frankie was obviously part of it too, but I feel like Senior Pink is a bigger contributor to that duel between them. Brook is best of the best, and I really don't think... I'm sure there are people who would say he's not that great, but during Whole Cake Island, he really did, like, pretty much nothing all the way up until Whole Cake Island, and then he was the first person on the crew to go against a Yonko, not Luffy, but Brook. And like, that's crazy, right? Like, not Luffy. So it's like, okay, well, if it's not going to be Luffy, then it might be Zoro or Sanji, but no. Brook, dude. Fucking amazing. And his entire power, like, the revived fruit, obviously Oda tricked us, right? He was like, oh, you're not going to expect this, so he made his fruit seemingly useless besides the revive factor, and then he gave it more of a connection to, like, the underworld and souls and stuff, and it's just a really cool ability, and I'd like to see him kind of become like a necromancer almost, but I don't know if One Piece is dark enough to do something like that, or at least have a hero do something like necromancy anyway. But he's definitely best of the best. I'd probably put him above Robin even. He's just fucking cool. And I mean, he's a talking skeleton with an afro. I mean, like, come on now. Um, Jimbei. Jimbei's pretty good. I'd put him above Nami. He's another one of those characters that when I first caught up to One Piece for the first time back in like 2011, 2012 maybe. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they had just gotten to Marineford in the anime. And I sort of dropped it for a while, and then I read all the way up to Fishman Island after that. Anyway, Jimbei joining the crew was not something that I was a fan of at first. And he's another one of those characters that I had to go back through the series again to really appreciate all that he'd done for the story, because you don't really catch it all at first. At least I didn't. But he did a lot for Luffy. He's basically like Luffy's dad. Like, he's a very father figure for Luffy, watching over him. And he's got a really good, like, him and Arlong, that like connection between those two really, it's one of those moments where everything kind of like connects into one big idea, and Jinbei is really good in that aspect. I still think his like fighting style is kind of lame, and I wish if we had a fishman on the crew, he was something a little bit more interesting, like of a fish visually speaking. But Jinbei is still, he's pretty good. I'm not gonna complain. Roger is best of the best, and this guy's just amazing. But I can't, in good faith, put him above probably most of the people that are going to be up here, because we really haven't seen a lot of him. What we have seen of him is obviously always super hype, and I love seeing him on screen, and he is really cool. Apart from his legacy, though, we really don't know much about him, so that is the one downside to him. But I mean, you gotta love Roger, right? He's like one of those like old mentor characters in Shonen that's just like, you just can't wait. You know, like every time you're like, oh, we want to see Roger do something. Oh, I want to see Roger do something. And every time he does do something, even if it's in a flashback, it's still super cool, super amazing. Roger, one of the things that I've always wanted, or hoped would happen, is perhaps after the end of One Piece. I know Oda said he maybe wants to do like a mecha manga, but I don't know if he's going to be doing anything after One Piece is over. But even if he got like his assistants or somebody to take over, I'd really like to see a spin-off series of just Roger and Rayleigh and Scopper and all them, like, on their journeys going across the seas, you know. Having him up there would be really cool to just see all that journey together. I feel like we're getting a large chunk of it. We just had a good piece of it in the flashback, but you know there's more history to Roger, and I don't know if you really could cover it in as much detail as I would like in another flashback segment. But he's pretty cool. Shanks is pretty good. I'd probably put him above Nami. He's a similar character to Roger. That's like, oh, I can't wait to see what he does, right? But he hasn't had much presence. He's one of those super mysterious characters that every time he shows up, everybody like explodes with crazy theories and stuff. You know, the fact that he's related to the Gorosei. I mean, what's up with that, right? Or not related to. Sorry, that was a that was a terrible misspeaking. Shanks, that he's able to get in contact with the Gorosei at seemingly no real risk to himself. I mean, obviously he infiltrated, but they know who he is, and they seem to be on, like, you know, semi-good terms. So, very interesting stuff. I don't think it's going to happen. I do personally enjoy the theory that Shanks might be evil. But there's a lot that, like, disproves it. Who knows, though? You know, he could be. You gotta watch out for that guy. Lucky Roo, he's pretty good. I mean, I can't not like him. He's jovial and rotund, and he eats meat, and is supposedly, like, super fucking fast for some reason. But that could just be, like, a manga paneling thing. So, he's good, but I can't, like, I'm not gonna say he's mid, but hey, he's one of those characters that's probably gonna be on the lower end of pretty good. Yasopp, I'd put him above Lucky Roo here. I'm excited to see, one of the things that I've wanted to really see is Usopp and Yasopp reuniting. Yasopp, again, like pretty much all of the red hair pirates we haven't really seen do anything, really. except for this next guy coming up. But you know, Usopp, they gotta reunite. I think that'd be a good. It's just gonna be a good wholesome scene. They're gonna hug each other. They're gonna cry. He's gonna be like, "Dad, I'm a brave warrior," and Usopp's gonna be like, "Haha, yeah, son." So it's gonna be pretty cool, I think. Ben Beckman. I like this guy, but if only for the fact that during that one scene in Marineford that he held up his rifle to Kizaru and was like, "Hey, don't move, buddy," and fucking Kizaru, the man who's made of light, was like, "Oh shit, Ben Beckman, I better be careful." Like, you really don't want to mess with Ben Beckman. But again, aside from him, we don't really know anything, so I can't put him super high. Makino, she's okay. I mean, I guess I don't remember if it's been confirmed. I think there's a cover page where it shows her and Shanks, and she's holding a baby, but I don't know if it was confirmed that that was Shanks' baby or not, or whoever's it was. I can't remember exactly, but she's all right. Again, we barely see her, but she is very supportive. She helped Ace, Luffy, and Sabo as they were growing up, and she runs the bar, so you know, she's all right. I can't really say anything positive or negative about her. I believe this guy's name is Higuma, and he is, I mean, besides Alvida, the first, I guess it, you know, I can't, it gets mixed up in my head. I can't remember if in the manga we see Higuma or Alvida first, but at least in the anime, we see Alvida first, but Higuma is pretty, he's pretty lame. But I'm not gonna say like I despise him because he's just like an introductory villain, like small time guy. He's not really like he's hateable, but he's not like you know what I mean. He's not like egregious. Whoop slap. I love whoop slap. Honestly, I think I know there's a lot of jokes about whoop slap. But honestly, I think he's pretty cool. And I mean, obviously the memes and stuff kind of elevate him a little bit, like, let's be honest. But okay, you know what? Yeah, I gotta put him below Makino, because I can't in good faith say that he's better than her. But he's a fine character. Kobe, honestly, I really, really, really like Kobe. And watching his journey, like, through the Marines, I'd really like for him to see him. I don't know if he'll make it to like, you feel like he should be Admiral, right? But honestly, the ultimate goal for Kobe should be, like, Fleet Admiral. And I think if he doesn't make it to Fleet Admiral, I feel like he's going to make it to at least Admiral. I really like his development. Honestly, never would have expected to see him show back up after Alvida. He just seemed like a throwaway character, but that's the thing about One Piece. All these characters come back, and I think it was a really cool decision to make Kobe rise through the ranks like this. And I think he's a really good character. Alvida, I mean, she's alright. I don't really dislike or like her. She does have a big club, so that's pretty cool, but other than that, I can't really... She's not super interesting. Axan Morgan, again, it's like, I don't hate him. He has an axe for a hand. That's pretty cool. So I put him above Alvida for that. Maybe even above Whoop Slap. But... he's a early One Piece villain, like, and when I say early One Piece villain, I mean like super early, because like after this we get to like Buggy and Captain Kuro and stuff, and those guys are actually they're likable, honestly. But Axan Morgan is just kind of, I am big and great, and you will worship me, and it's like whatever. Helmeppo, he's pretty good. I don't like him as much as Kobe because he's kind of the comic relief, so he doesn't really have as many, you know, his great moments aren't really there. But he's still good. I also like his story of him going up alongside Kobe to rise through the ranks, so he's fine. He's fine. Kuina, is that her name? Or Hina? I can't remember which one. No. Hina's the Marine girl, and Kuina is the... Right? I can't remember this girl's name. But, you know, Zoro's inspiration. I'm not going to put her in Don't Care For You, don't worry. I was just trying to remember what her name was, but I don't think... It's not coming to me right now. She's fine. I mean, as a setup for Zoro's inspiration, she serves her job, but other than that, I can't, you know, there's nothing... I honestly don't remember this guy's name at all. I'm not even going to try, but he is Zoro's sensei. And he's pretty much on the same level, like, he just serves as he might get a little bit more light shed on him here soon in Wano. We'll have to see, but he's a plain, backstory character. Zoro's backstory is probably like the dullest of all of them. So there's not really a lot to say about these two characters. Buggy's top tier. I'd probably put him above Kobe. I know he's also a comic relief character, but he honestly sort of has this like endearing nature about him, since he's a recurring character because Oda keeps bringing him back. And even though he's comic relief, he's kind of got his own little journey that he's going on. This is a shrill song. I might turn it down a little bit. Anyway, there's actually a lot more to Buggy than I think you can see on the surface level. Like, I mean, the fact that he journeyed with the Roger Pirates and him and Shank are best friends, that's a really good character, like, connection. Because Shanks is a super legendary pirate and Buggy's, like, fucking nobody. But they were both on the Roger Pirates, and then that's played up for laughs, of course. And the fact that Shanks stayed behind from Raftel to help comfort Buggy when Buggy got sick and couldn't go to the island. I mean, like, it's stuff like that that really makes me like Buggy more than he's just a funny clown, man, right? Honestly, his fruit is kind of cool, too. Like, being able to split himself up. I know it's got its limitations where he's got to keep his feet on the ground, but yeah, I mean, discussing it further, I probably shouldn't put him above Kobe or Chopper, for that matter. So I'll put him in pretty good. He's a good character, though, and I feel like maybe, again, he's one of those joke characters that's like, well, Buggy is so strong, but I feel like he gets overlooked a little bit, and there's more to him than what you might initially think. Moji, let's just get these guys out of the way. The whole like Buggy troop, they are horrible. Their comic relief sections, like when they're out on the boat and Richie is like, "Oh, meat," and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Richie, I'm sad too." It's like, that's not funny for me. And Richie, I'm gonna put him down here, but these two aren't as bad as him. What was his dog's name? I can't remember. He was the dog that was guarding the pet food store. That's one of the first moments in One Piece that I feel like it got super emotional. I mean, like, everything up to that point was just action, backstory, kind of. So, I mean, this is like chapter, what, 5 or 6, maybe 7? Choo Choo, that's his name. He's good. Again, he's not super developed. He's just a dog that protects the store, but he goes hand in hand with Luffy in developing Luffy's character, so he's pretty good, and I'll put him up there. I'm gonna move Lucky Root down a little bit. I'll probably put Helmeppo above him, but not above Ben Beckman. No, I would never. Gaimon, I don't like Gaimon. In fact, I really don't care for him, but I think I've been talking a lot. Gotta drink some water. I think he gets played up a little bit too much in the community, like funny Gaimon. He really hasn't done much. I mean, he was looking for treasure, and he found it. And now he's stuck in the chest. It's like he doesn't really. He's not that great. I can't remember their names in Japanese, but onion, carrot, and pepper. I think this guy's a pepper. These guys are all right. I'm probably gonna put them all here. I'd put them above the sensei. And what is her name? Kuina. I feel like Kuina is the name of Smoker's. Oh, Smoker's name is Tashigi, right? Smoker's partner's name. That's right. Is her name Kuina? I feel like maybe that's right. Anyway, Captain Kuro's pretty good. I like that he's more of a brains villain rather than a brute force villain, but he still ends up being like, "Oh, watch out for me, I'm gonna slice you up" in the end. So it's like, whatever, right? But he's pretty good. Do I like him More than Yasop? Yeah. Do I like him more than Helmeppo? No. Jango, underrated character. Feel like people hate on him a little bit too much, but I'd still put him up here in mid, above Whoop Slap and Axan Morgan. And you know what? I'm putting him all the way up there. He has a, I mean, his ability is comic relief, but I think the idea, like the premise behind him being able to hypnotize you, is pretty cool. But on top of that, he also uses his like hypnotist medallions as like throwing chakrams, and that is really cool. Honestly, like big bladed frisbees that he's throwing around. I think he's pretty cool. What are these guys' names? The Nyaban brothers. I know they have specific names, but they are horrible. I can't remember what their names are. I don't know if they ever gave them specific names. I feel like that's something that they would do. That Oda would do is give them both names, but they're the Nyaban brothers and they're down there. They're pretty lame. Kaya, she's she's probably on the same level as Makino, probably lower than these guys. She serves as an inspiration for Usopp. She's sick. She's okay. For her time in Syrup Village, she didn't really do anything super noteworthy to me. I mean, it was very brave of her to leave the house with her terminal illness and go see Crocodile. But, I mean, she doesn't really do a whole lot, so I can't really say that she's one of my favorites. Going Mary, top tier. Not as see. I wouldn't say I'm as connected to Mary as I was Kobe, and there's the scene that everyone cries that the Mary is burning, and I did too. Don't get me wrong, but I think Mary as a ship. I mean, it's a ship. Now the Klabauter man, I would actually really like to see more of that, but it's kind of leaning into the supernatural element that One Piece doesn't really do a whole lot. I mean, aside from the entire thing about devil fruits, like I'd really like to know more about that. So actually, I kind of like that actually, that there is a Klabauter man on the Going Merry, and that it's sort of just like a supernatural, unexplainable thing. Because a lot of stuff in One Piece is explicitly explained, but there's like sprinkles of things here and there that's just like, as Luffy would say, it's a mystery. I really like that. It's kind of mysterious, and I would like to see more of the Klabauterman, but I don't know how much more we're gonna see of it, honestly. So I'll put it up there. I mean, but okay. So see, that's the thing. I cannot put the Going Merry above the Straw Hats, right? Like that just shouldn't be a thing. So I'll put it below Nami. Merry himself, he's whatever. Like, he's whatever. Johnny and Yosaku together as a pair, they're pretty good. I'd put them above. Honestly, I'd put them above the Going Merry even. Probably even above Nami. Now, if I'm being honest, even above Shanks. Now I'm thinking about it, like these two are fucking lads, and I mean, basically all they did through their entire showing their entire run of the series is stand on the sidelines and go, "Whoa, go Zoro!" or like, "Oh my God, guys, Nami, holy crap!" But I mean, come on, they're the duo, they're the gruesome twosome. You gotta love them. And they became fishermen. I think there's a cover page that shows them as fishermen, so that's fine. I like fishermen, all right. I'd put them up there. Okay, all right. I won't put them above Nami, but I will put them above Mary. Full body, yeah, don't really care for this guy. He's super lame. Compared to Jango, he is super forgettable and plain. Nothing really going on with him. He's just an arrogant marine that punches things, and yeah, that's it. Zeph is up there. Also above the Mary. Probably above these two, honestly. Zeph is super cool. I really like his super tall hat, but aside from that, his like just the fact that he like runs the Baratai or Baratier. I don't know how we've agreed on saying it these days, but his peg leg, his history as a pirate, the fact that he ate his leg to give Sanji food. He's just an overall great, like old jolly old man, or I guess he's more of a grumpy old man, but he's a trustworthy grumpy old man. You can depend on him. When times are tough, Zeph is going to be there to help you out. Patty and Carne. Patty is better than Carne. Let's not kid ourselves here. Carne barely does anything, and Patty is, well, he also barely does anything, but he does more than Carne does, that's for sure. So I'd probably put them above Mary here. Yeah, that seems like a good spot for them. Gin, is that Gin? I think I remember there's a lot of people that really are waiting for Gin to show back up. But, I mean, I didn't like him as much as most other people probably did. I think his weapons are really cool, actually. I don't know what the specific term for them would be, but it's like they're like batons with the balls on the end. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Donkey Kong Country is, you gotta respect it. You gotta respect Donkey Kong Country. Anyway, he does have really cool weapons. And, I just don't understand all the hype for seeing him again in the Grand Line. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. He's fine. I mean, yeah, I'd probably put him... That's a little disrespectful putting him down there. I'll put him above these three. And Alvida, and... Yeah, that's a good spot. That's a good spot. Maybe right below Axan Morgan. That's a good spot for him. Don Krieg. Now, my friends and I have this joke about Don Krieg, where we act like we love Don Krieg, but we got to be honest here. Don Krieg is a pretty low tier villain. All things. I mean, like the concept on its own of like a guy with a big suit of armor and a huge arsenal of stuff to shoot at you. The concept on its own is pretty cool, but Don Krieg as a character, I'm not gonna say I don't care for him because he's kind of whatever. But I would probably have to put him below Patty and Carney there. I think that's a good spot for him. Mihawk. I wish they had all the Shichibukai lined up here, but no well. Mihawk. I mean, I understand why Mihawk's here. I put him in pretty good, probably. I'd put him above Zeph, for sure. I'd put him right there. He's a very cool and mysterious character. His big sword is, it kind of seems like more of like a blunt weapon than a bladed weapon. I mean, he slashes stuff with it for sure, but he's cool. I mean, I like that he lives the entire segment of the time skip with him, Zoro, and Perona living in the castle. I loved every bit of that. That elevated him a little bit for me, and all the like fan art of them like living as a family. I like Mihawk. He's pretty cool. He's not my favorite Shichibukai, but he's pretty cool. The Invincible Pearl. This guy is wow. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this at one volume level and not touch it. If something's too loud, I'm sorry. If something's too quiet, I'm sorry. The Pearl is terrible. Really don't care for him. I'm not going to say he actively makes One Piece worse by existing, but he's pretty bad. Like, yeah, he's like down here for sure. This mouse dude, he's just a prick. Like, his entire character is just him being an asshole, so I can't really fault him for that because he makes you dislike him and it cheats, but he really doesn't do a whole lot. He just kind of shows up and is like, I'm the bad marine, I'm in cahoots with Arlong, so... Yeah, he's really nothing to write home about. Arlong. Arlong is the first... I mean, I think most people can agree that Arlong Park was the first time One Piece got, like, super really, really real. And for a lot of people, it was the first time they realized, like, oh, this is what One Piece is really going to be about. And Arlong is an amazing villain, honestly. He's, like... He's definitely above Kurohadol. Captain Kuro is this high. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a fine spot for him. He's all right. But anyway, Arlong. Back to Arlong. He's an amazing villain. I'm like, I want to put him up here next to Jinbei. His whole like everything like, of course, Arlong gets more development way later in Fishman Island, but even just on like Arlong Park, he's just like a racist fishman who wants to kill everybody, and that's fine. But once he gets all the development in Fishman Island, and you see like all the entire look, I know Fishman Island was super boring, but the whole like backstory of like and the lore of like the fishmen and all that was super good. And Arlong, he becomes a better character as a product of that. And I really like him. I really like Arlong. Hachi. Hachi is super likable as well. You know, I'll put Arlong below Mihawk because I want to put Hachi up here. I mean, Hachi is just a lovable guy. He cares about his friends and his family. You know, he's selling takoyaki. He wants fishermen to be better, and he was on a bad man's crew, and he realized his mistakes. He's trying to better himself, and now he's looking out for Kami. And he's an octopus man, you know, and he's got a trumpet mouth. Like, he's a really super likable character, and yeah, I mean, that's all I can really say about him. Momu? Is that this guy's name? Momu? I'm maybe thinking of something else, but he doesn't really add anything, and honestly, he's kind of lame. So, Chu is fine, whatever. Karubi is fine, whatever. I mean, they're both like whatever, throwaway fishmen that I don't really care about. So better than, not as good as Don Krieg, but better than these three. Nojiko's fine. I mean, I'd put her up here next to Kaya. She's kind of on that same level. She does give a big, like, lore dump about Nami and her past to, Usopp? I think she says it to Usopp, if I remember correctly. Gen. Now, this guy. Now, I don't want to give him too much credit, but he is a badass. Like, let's be honest. The pinwheel gimmick is pretty cool, and, you know, all the scars from getting cut up by, Did he get cut up by Hachi? Anyway, he got cut up by Arlong pirates. So definitely above Zeph. That's for sure. He's up there. Bellamir, very tragic, very sad. Like, okay, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, everybody's backstory up until Nami was kind of like, whatever. Like, Usopp's backstory was basically non-existent. And Zoro's backstory was like, Sanji's backstory was a little gripping, and Nami's is where at first like the backstories really got like really real, right? So, anyway, she's fine. She's better than these guys for sure. I'd put her above Makino, and probably that's a good spot for her. What is this guy's name? I can't remember this guy's name. Is his name? No. I want to say Rockstar, but I don't think that's right. Anyway, he's the guy that like always talks about bounties and shit. So he's fine. He's like whatever, right? I don't really think much of him in general, so I'll just put him there because I don't hate him. I guess, yeah. I mean, he should be below these guys then if I don't really feel that way. Smoker, a little overrated, not gonna lie. He's still good. He's still cool. But I think he gets a little bit more love than he deserves. He's definitely has gotten his ass handed to him. Like, he's got the short end of the stick for sure. Like, pretty much everywhere he goes, he just gets his ass beat. Which sucks for him, because his power is honestly pretty cool. But his, like, whole general attitude and the fact that he underperforms consistently, he's all right. He's all right. He's he's pretty good. He's fine. I might have to put him in mid. I don't want to put him that high, so I'd put him above. Yeah, I'd put him like right there. Tashigi is actually a little bit more likable for me. I really think I hate Punk Hazard. Let me just get that out of the way. Punk Hazard is probably the worst arc in the whole series, but anyway, uh, Smoker and Tashigi's dynamic in Alabasta was like actually really fucking good, and I went back and read through Alabasta recently, and there's the scene where Tashigi is like torn up about the fact that even though the Straw Hats were like battered and bruised, completely wounded and asleep, that she wouldn't like her morals would not allow her to capture them because they did a good thing by defeating Crocodile. And then she went back to the ship and she was like, I can't believe I couldn't turn in those pirates. I'm a Marine. Like, I should have captured them. And Smoker's just like, you follow your moral compass. And she was super upset and like crying and like, oh, that's such a good scene because then like Smoker is like, you just gotta be stronger. And she's like, I will, right? Like, I really like Tashigi. At least that's a really good scene for her. Everything after that is kind of whatever. She's better than Smoker. That's for certain. So I'd probably put her up here. Dragon, I mean, we really don't know a whole lot about him. He's the leader of the Revolutionary Army. He's got Storm Devil Fruit powers. He's Luffy's dad. I don't really know why. Like, he hasn't really done anything. He's like even less present than Shanks. So I can't. I'm gonna have to put him like right here because he hasn't really done anything, and I mean he seems important, but I don't really. There's nothing going on with him right now. Crocus, he's an old man. He takes care of Laboon. That's about all there is. Well, he was on Roger's crew. Let's not forget that. He was a doctor on Roger's crew. But currently, he's watching after Laboon. Not really much to say about him. I'd probably put him above Gin there. Now, Laboon himself, very touching, very sad story, but when you really get down to it, he's just a big whale. I love the guy. He's waiting for Brook to return. Very sad story, but he's just a whale sitting at the end of the Grand Line. Crocus is honestly cooler than him. He's not bad, but Vivi, I mean, oh man, top tier at least, maybe best of the best. She, excuse me. She needs to be a Straw Hat. Let me just get that out of the way. She needs to be a member of the Straw Hats and journey on their crew. I hope that's where she's going. We don't know where she's going right now. I hope she's headed over there. There's a theory that she's an ancient weapon. She's a really good character. Everything about Alabasta surrounding her. Do I like her more than Luffy? Yes. Do I like her more than Zoro? Yes. More than Frankie? Probably not. So she's really good. I really like her fighting style. The spinny, like, yo-yo weapons. That shit is really cool. I hope Karoo... Yeah, I see him down there. Karoo's on the list later. He's going to be pretty high as well. I mean, she's just a great character. There's this one volume cover that shows Vivi, like, smiling on the front of it, and then it shows all the Straw Hats, like, individual encounters with the members of Baroque Works. And it's like she's at the forefront and standing at the front, and the background is their battles, and she's just smiling. And I really, really love that cover. I mean, the iconic scene where all the Straw Hats like put their hands up and they've got the crosses on, and because they can't say goodbye because the Marines will find out, etc., etc. And I mean, she's just super memorable. I really, there's nothing to not like about her. She cares for her people. The scene where she's like yelling for everybody to stop fighting in Alabasta and it starts raining. She's great. Mr. 11? Mr. 9? I can't remember which number he is specifically. He's pretty lame. He uses a baseball bat, though. Mr. 8? He uses a baseball bat, so that's pretty cool. I'll put him... yeah, he's like Alvida tier. Maybe less than that, actually. He's like Patty and Carney tier. Igaram, he's a supportive man. I love the attack where he pulls on his tie and shoots the guns out of his wig. That is very, very, very cool. Um, I'd put him above these people. Yeah, he's like around Smoker, I'd say. Mr. 5, Explosion Man. He's okay. He's got a pretty cool power. I like that he uses his boogers. That's an epic, funny, haha. But like blowing into the gun and shooting his breath out, really creative use of the power. He's cool. He's like Gin level. Miss Valentine, don't care for her. Her power is not super interesting. It's kind of cool, but it's not super interesting, and she's just kind of like, haha, I'm kind of crazy and evil. Not really much development past that. Now, it's better than Higuma, though, probably. What are these two called? The Unluckies. They don't really do much. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing I can place them. I know they've got like guns or something. Like I can't remember if the crow's got like a minigun or the otter. It's a vulture, not a crow. Or the otter has like dual pistol. I can't remember exactly how they work, but they're just the messengers for Baroque Works. They don't do anything super crazy. Karu, I mean, at least up there with Hachi. Like that's the duck right there. I mean, come on. Even though he doesn't actually have any technical speaking lines, there's a lot that he says through his emotions. Like trying to hold on. I can't remember who. I think it was with Usopp, and trying to run up the side of Alubarna. Sorry, trying to run up the side of the plateau to get to the city, running away from whoever was chasing him, and just like. He really giving his all, like, you gotta love Karu. Dory and Brogy, these two are Chads. Pretty good. Better than Johnny and Yosaku, better than Zeph. That's where they go. They go up here. Right underneath Gen. Mr. 3. Don't like him as much as Buggy. He has one of my favorite powers, though. The wax fruit is super cool. But he's not as interesting as of a character as Buggy. So I'd still put him in pretty good, but probably lower on this list, like above Helmeppo. Well, above Captain Kuro, that's for sure. Miss Golden Week also has a really interesting power. I can't put her as high as Mr. 3 because she doesn't do as much as he has. But she has a really cool power, and she's like a fine character. So I'll put her above Chu. Yeah. She ended up being pretty close to Mr. 3 anyway, but... Anyway, Wapol. Now... Wapol is a funny guy, but again, his fruit actually, I know I've been saying this that they've all got pretty cool fruits, but Wapol is like top 5 devil fruits. Seriously, like the stuff that you eat becomes part of you. Very, very huge potential for that. And he invented Wappa Metal, so that's another thing. He is generally unlikable, but the fact that he is unlikable means that he's written well. I honestly might have to put him in high mid, like not as high as Laboon, probably like right here. Even though he's completely insufferable, I really like his power, and the fact that he is completely insufferable means that he was written well, because you don't like him. So that's fine. Now his Chess and I want to say his name's Marimo. I don't feel like that's right. But these guys are super forgettable. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're like on the same level as like the extras for Buggy. Maybe they're better than Momu, but yeah, I mean, they're super forgettable. Dalton is awesome. Not top tier, but pretty good. I'd probably put him... Yeah, see, I don't want to put him as high as Mr. 3. Honestly, I need to move Mr. 3 up a little bit more. Like, right here. So I'll put Dalton, like, here above Johnny. Yeah, that's a good spot for him. Dr. Creha, one of the better characters of Drum Island. Better than these guys. I really like her, honestly. She's not above Mihawk, I wouldn't say, but I really like her. Her gimmick about her being super old but actually looking young or whatever, like that's kind of whatever. But I like that she took up the torch of Dr. Hilaluk. My favorite backstory in all of One Piece is Chopper's. Let me say that. So the fact that she took up Hilaluk's like duty of raising Chopper to be a good doctor, and the send off that she gave to Chopper, she's just really likable. I mean, she doesn't really do anything combat wise, but she holds her own in the castle, and you know she's passing on the torch for Dr. Hilaluk. Is like, I fucking love this guy. He's definitely best of the best for sure. He's a doctor. He took Chopper in, and even though Chopper gave him the poison, and he still, there's just so much to love about Dr. Hilaluk, and I feel like I'm definitely biased because I can't really give a reason why he's amazing besides the fact that I love him. But, man, he has one of my favorite quotes in the series, which is, when does a man die? When he's shot by a bullet? No. When he drinks a soup made from poisonous mushroom? No. But when he's forgotten? Yes. That's one of my favorite quotes in the whole series. And yeah, he's going in best of the best. I don't know if he'll stay there, but that's where he's at for now. Whew, how long have we been talking for? About an hour. We're 56 minutes in, and we still got all this. Ooh, buddy. Well, we might as well keep going. Let me get another drink of water here. Crocodile. Crocodile, after Arlong, the second really good villain. He's like... Is he top tier? I might be tempted to put him up here. He has a lot of mystery still surrounding him now with the Ivankov connection, and his like motives after Marineford, like what's he up to? I mean, obviously he was after the ancient weapon in Alabasta, but is he still after the ancient weapon? Is he still looking for it? It's really hard to say what Crocodile's up to, and you know he's going to show up again, so I'm kind of excited to see what he does. I like he's got a hook hand. He's just generally a great villain. Mr. 1, on the other hand, not as great. He's fine. He's not pretty good. He's definitely mid. Yeah, I mean, he's above Wapol and Gin, and yeah, he's like right here above Mr. 5. Miss Doublefinger? I think that was her name. She has a, once again, very, very, very cool power, but honestly, her fight with Nami was pretty good. Like, when she, like, buffed up her arms and turned them into, like, big spiked clubs. She has a very cool power. So, I mean, yeah, but her and Mr. 1 are kind of on the same level. Mr. 2, I mean, there's anybody who says that he does not belong up here. Like, honestly, I'm going to put him above Robin even. Anybody who says he does not belong in the top 10 is a fool. You cannot hate this guy. You cannot. He's amazing. I mean, the sacrifices that he makes, but like those are just one part of his amazing character. Like the fact he showed up for Luffy in level 5 when the frozen hell of Impel Down, shirtless and all that. His trickery, getting around people. He's more of a brains over brawn kind of character, even though he can still defend himself with a decent amount with the Okama Kenpo. He also needs to be a Straw Hat. I don't think it's going to happen. I feel like Vivi is definitely more likely to be a Straw Hat than Mr. 2 / Bentham / Bond Clay. Um, but you gotta love this guy. Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas and their dog, who I don't know is named. It probably has a name, but I can't remember. While I don't really like these three characters specifically, the Usopp Chopper team up in Alabasta, one of the best fights in the series, and Usopp's quote about Luffy, like, you know, there are times when a man can't run from a fight, and that's when his friend's dreams are laughed at. Great quote from Usopp. So these guys are a catalyst for that. But I mean, better than Wapol. Better than Gin, yeah. I mean, all the Baroque Works members are like around here. Well, the dog itself is like worse than those two. Probably down here, like, yeah, definitely like the unluckies tier. All right. Ace. Okay. I feel like if you've seen some of my other videos, you might know where I'm going to put Ace. I'll put him in Don't Care For You. There might only be one character that goes in that bottom tier there. We'll see as we go along. You know what? I gotta be fair to Ace, because I gotta put him at least in mid. I gotta give him it's gotta be fair, right? I don't like everything that happened with him connecting to Sabo. I hate all that, but if you look at Ace, as if Sabo did not exist, and just the way that he's written, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. Fire powers, generally speaking, are very lame, but his, you know, trying to get Blackbeard back for killing Thatch is fine, and the fact that he's Gold Roger's son is a little interesting. The whole Marineford arc and everything like surrounding him, that's good. You know what? I'll even go as far to say as that's well written, and I don't often give Ace that kind of credit. But I gotta be fair to him. He's better than a lot of these characters. Probably like, yeah, right there. That's a good spot for him. Cobra, I mean, I honestly don't give a fuck about Cobra. He loves his daughter, you know, he tries to protect her. He's got that going for him. So yeah, I mean, that's fine. Honestly, I gotta move Dragon down. I feel like Dragon's too high here. I'll put him... No, he's fine where he's at. Pell, okay. Well, I don't even... Chaka, maybe that's his name, is Chaka? He's definitely worse than Pell, so let's get him out of the way. He's like... Yeah, I mean, he's like Don Krieg level of uninteresting. Pell. Pell is good. The sacrifice he made, even though he lived. That's a good scene. Aside from that, I can't really tell you what else he does, though. I mean, he tries to stop Robin, I think, and she fucks him up. So I can't really put him super high here and pretty good, but I'll put him up there. The fucking eyelashes? See, that's the thing. Like, I can remember fucking Eyelash's name, but I don't remember the name of Zoro's training partner and his backstory. Eyelashes. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty... He kind of takes away from the story a little bit, honestly. Like, like, okay, this tier down here is supposed to be, like, extreme. Like, if... See, here's the thing. If Eyelashes was not in the story, would One Piece be better? No, probably not. So, like, he doesn't impact the story that much, right? So, he's... whatever, you know? Like, he's bad, but he's not horrendous. Can't remember this guy's name. I think it starts with a K, but I can't remember his name. Leader of the rebel army in Alabasta. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's like he has decent backstory going on. Seriously, that's like, yeah, like maybe up here. Yeah. That's it. I'd put him above. You know what? I'd put him above Mr. 5 here. Hina, she's fine. She hasn't really done a whole lot. She has, once again, very cool devil fruit power, the jail fruit. But I can't really put her super high. Just because she hasn't really done a whole lot in the series. I mean, she did give us some information about rocks and that whole thing, the God Valley incident. But I can't put her super high. Like, she has to go like right here. Bellamy, very well written character, very well written character. So he's got to go in pretty good at least. Super development, like from the connection between Jaya and Dressrosa, how he kind of grew and is like, yeah, we went to Sky Island. I saw it for myself, man. It's real. Jaya is such a good arc. I like Jaya more than Skypiea. I know there's a lot of like huge Skypiea fans out there. It's a good arc. I don't hate it, but I think Jaya is like way better just for all the setup it does. Bellamy's pretty good. I'd put him like maybe, yeah, above Dalton for sure. Below Zeph. That's a good. Above. I put him above Zeph. He's one of the most well written characters in One Piece, I think. And the fact that he won't give up his unwavering loyalty for Doflamingo is, honestly, again, it's really good writing. I don't think that makes him less of a character, and I think that just shows what kind of person he is. Even though he respects Luffy, that he can't put his loyalty to Doflamingo behind him. Sarkis, I think is this guy's name. He's pretty lame. He's pretty actively lame. I don't really care for him. He's better than Higuma, though, so. Mont Blanc Cricket, cool guy, in pretty good tier. His two, no, they're not as good as, he's not as good as these guys, that's for sure. Better than Ben Beckman, though, that's a good spot for him. I think one of these monkeys' names is Ujira. I can't remember the name of the other one. These two monkey dudes. They're not as good as Mont Blanc Cricket. I don't want to say they're forgettable because I definitely, remember that they exist, but yeah, I'm just not super keen on these guys. Yeah, they're like Patty and Carney. They're a little bit better than those two, but that's about where they're at. Okay, the 5 Gorosei. I mean, I have to rank all 5 of them in the same spot, right? Because past that point, it's just purely based on visual appearance. The Gorosei are very cool, but in the interest of fairness, they've had just about as much screen time as probably Dragon. Maybe a little bit more than Dragon, less than Shanks. So they really haven't done anything. But they are old men. I love old men. They. I want to put them in pretty good. But because of the fact that they don't really do a whole lot, and I want to be fair to the other characters that I've said that about, I'll put them on the bottom. So we'll get them all up here. And now past this point, who is better than who? I mean, this guy, these two, this guy right here, and this guy right here. These guys are clearly the best. Gandhi over here. Yeah, that's a good order for him right there. Guy with huge handlebar mustache is obviously the best. I'm really hoping that the Gorosei do not have devil fruits, and that they're just like super huge like hockey users, but if they did have devil fruits, I would like for them all to have like super crazy like mythical zones or something, like insane devil fruits. Obviously they can't be as insane as whatever Im-sama has, but I'd like for them to be, I'd like to actually see them fight rather than just be old mentor men who make decisions, which is not, it's not bad that that's what they are, but I really would like to see what they're capable of in terms of combat. And I do really like the theory that they need, what's her name? Bonnie. That they need Bonnie to use her aging devil fruit to keep them young, and that they've been around for like hundreds of years, and as well as Im-sama. But I'm a fan of that theory. I follow that theory. Sengoku. He's really cool. I really like Sengoku. He's top tier for sure. Best of the best, maybe not, but he's top tier. That's indisputable. I love his devil fruit. That's also top 5 devil fruit. The Buddha fruit, fucking awesome. His relationship with Garp is gonna rank higher than him. But he's better than Crocodile. Not as good as Kobe though. He's fucking awesome. He realizes I like the dynamic that he has, that like he's the leader of the Marines, and he sees how it's kind of like things are getting heated, and he sees the direction that the Marines are going, like how Akainu like led the charge and killed all those pirates as they were running away, and he's kind of like, I don't really know if I want to be part of this anymore, and stepped down from his position, and now he's still mentoring trainees, but he's a really good character. Tsuru, she is an interesting devil fruit. I'm not gonna say cool. It is unique. Again, she hasn't really done much, but she's a high-ranking official in the Marine, so that gives her a little bit of a cool factor. And her devil fruit gives her a little bit of a cool factor. So, I'd put her up here past Alvida, underneath Dragon. Doflamingo. I think Doflamingo is one of the most universally loved villains in One Piece, along with Crocodile up here. I don't like him as much as Crocodile. He's definitely like up here somewhere. I know a lot of people were hoping that his like final confrontation in Dressrosa would be more like tactical as opposed to brute force, but he like honestly, all of the setup that went to like him ending up leading everybody in Dressrosa and taking over the kingdom, and like how he rose from being a celestial dragon that stepped down and killed his father and everything. Like, he has really, really, really good writing. I know people say that Dressrosa dragged on and has really bad pacing, and I can agree with some of that, but Doflamingo is like, he's one of the best written villains in the series. And he's got a big fluffy pink coat, so I like him more than Mihawk. I'll definitely say that. I like him more than Shanks and Hachi and Karoo too. I like him more than Jinbei. Oh, okay, but I gotta draw the line there because he's not as good as Buggy the Clown. Kuma. Okay. Kuma, my favorite Shichibukai. He's up here. I mean, we get more stuff like revealed about him as we go on, and I'm still looking forward to what else they have to show us. But Kuma, like, his whole story, like how he's supposedly like a tyrant of the seas. So he joins up with the revolutionaries and goes undercover as a Shichibukai, and he makes some kind of deal with Vegapunk, which, God, I hope we see Vegapunk soon. Unrelated. He sends the Straw Hats off and to like help him out, and then he stays and protects the ship. But now that he's fulfilled his duty of protecting the ship and sending the Straw Hats off to train, he's given his life up completely over to the Navy, or the world government. And God, I love him. I love the way he looks, his design, his power is super cool. Everything about Kuma is likable. And now that we know that he has some kind of connection to Bonnie for some reason, the mysteries with this guy just get deeper, and I can't wait to learn more about him. I like him more than Roger, even. Yeah, that's where he's going. Whitebeard. Okay, these two motherfuckers right here. Blackbeard, look, I know Blackbeard is built up to be like the big overarching villain of the story, and it's precisely because of that fact that I love him so fucking much. He's gotta go up in best of the best. Whitebeard, I mean, like, you can't not love Whitebeard, right? Like, he's so fun. Like, okay, all right, we gotta take this one at a time. Whitebeard, is he best of the best? I think yes. He's better than. Look, he's better than Roger. He's better than Kuma. I gotta do this. He's better than Robin, and he might even be better than Mr. 2. Just a, I mean, he's like, okay, like imagine Hachi, like imagine if Hachi was as strong as Whitebeard. Like take Hachi's personality and put it in Whitebeard, and that's where you're at right there. But Hachi is also an old man. Like, it doesn't get better than that. The entire Marineford arc was fucking carried by Whitebeard. If it was a different Yonko, like if it was like Big Mom at Marineford, it would still be a pretty cool clash. But if it like that arc made you love Whitebeard, like even though he barely had even though he was only in that one arc and pretty much we saw little bits and pieces of him throughout the rest of the series. I fucking man. That's Whitebeard right there. You gotta put respect on Whitebeard. Blackbeard. Oh my god, dude. Such a good villain. I feel like we still haven't even seen him go all out yet, you know? He's definitely up there. He's the best villain in One Piece. Like no other villain is gonna get higher than Blackbeard. He's up there. He's probably better than Mr. 2. I don't think he's better than Whitebeard. But he is so fucking cool, man. Like, I can't wait to see it. I mean, obviously the epic clash between the Straw Hats and the Blackbeard Pirates it's literally has to happen. And that's one of my most anticipated moments in the entire series. Probably even more so than Luffy and the fleet going up against the world government. I mean, that's going to be fucking awesome as well. Like, those are the two big ones. But Blackbeard, I want to see Blackbeard versus Luffy. I want to see Van Augur versus Usopp. I want to see Shiryu versus Zoro. I want to see Doc Q versus Chopper, you know? Like, man. It's going to be sick. There's so much build-up around Blackbeard that, like, he just keeps getting better and better and more evil, and it's like, love that guy. Lafitte. Not as cool as Whitebeard. Let's move these Whitebeard pirates up here. This is only half of them, because this is when they were introduced. Lafitte, probably, like, he's still pretty cool. Like, there's other members on Blackbeard's crew, like Katarina Devon or Vasco Shot. That's like, I don't... Like, who are these guys, right? But Lafitte, he's still in pretty good tier, I'd say. He's below Golden Week. That's a good spot for him. Jesus, he's I don't really like Jesus very much. I'm not gonna say he's bad, but he's mid. Probably like, man, Axan Morgan kind of high up here, isn't he? I didn't realize how high he was. I gotta move him down. Like, let's be honest. He's gotta be like above Dragon. There you go. Yeah, that's a good spot for him. Anyway, that's a good spot for Jesus as well. Van Augur, I can't wait to see him in action. I mean, they did the other Blackbeard pirates dirty when they showed Van Augur like lining up the shot against the seagull, and like Luffy they couldn't even see land, and the seagull just got shot, and it's like, dude, like this fucking guy, right? Holy shit, man. His observation hockey's got to be through the fucking roof. I cannot wait to see this guy in action. He's done even less than Ben Beckman though, so I'm gonna have to put him below Ben Beckman. Doc Q, he's all right. I mean, he's a sick man on a horse, gives out explosive apples. He's mid. I like his concept, but until we see him do more, I can't say that he's pretty good. He's just not. He's not as immediately cool as someone like Van Augur. He's got to go like. He's got to go like. Yeah, right here beneath Koza. That's his name. Just remembered it. Just had to come back to it. The Revolutionary Leader man. His name is Koza. Gonfall and Pierre. Gonfall is based. Let's not kid ourselves here. Pierre is not as cool. Probably like. I might even go as far to say don't care for Pierre. Like, I don't hate him, but he's really not that great. Gonfall, on the other hand, he's a flying sky knight with a giant lance. So, I mean, he's also an old man, so that gives him big points. He'll go up here next to Zeph. Better than Zeph. Not, yeah, that's a great spot for him, I think. Conus and Pagaya, I think that's his name. Pagaya is also an old man, but he doesn't do a whole lot. I like how he and Conus kind of introduce the Straw Hats to the culture and the devices of Sky Island, but he doesn't really do a whole lot. So Pagaya, he's above the he's above Axan. That's for fucking sure. God, I gotta move Axan even further down. Why is he so high? Axan, all right, you're like Don Krieg tier. You're staying right there. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for him. And I'll move Whoop Slap there too. They're kind of like on the same level of just like friendly old man types. Whoop Slap, he puts on a tough exterior. He's like, oh, those darn kids, but he's a good man. Come on now. Conus, same thing. I mean, she goes hand in hand with Pagaya, so. Is his name Pagaya or is it just Paya? I don't remember. This fucking guy. He's the leader of like the Sky Military Corps. I don't remember his name. I'd wager that like 98% of people, 99% of people who you go up to them and you're like, hey, you remember the military on Sky Island? And they'd be like, yeah. And you ask them what this fucking dude's name is. Like, what? I honestly don't remember anything. Like, he's got an agenda against the Straw Hats or whatever because he wants to take them in for an L, but like, yeah, I mean, he's forgettable. He's super forgettable. So he's got to go down here like by these guys. Anel, people really like Anel. Lightning powers, they're decent. They're not super cool, but they're not bad either. As a villain, he's okay. He's just one of those, like, I want tons of power, but also he's got the secondary motivation of wanting to get to Fairy Birth. So he's a little bit better than your just normal villain. I would say he's pretty good tier for sure. But who is he better than? Honestly, I really like the drum thing on his back, and his like, whenever he summons a like giant black ball of thunder or whatever, that's really cool. He's got some really cool moments, and he uses like a staff to fight. He's not my favorite villain. I know there are people who really like him, but he's still pretty cool. He's better than Arlong. No, I actually don't think he is better than Arlong. So I'll put him here. Yeah, that's a good spot for him. Number 2. I don't remember what this dude's actual name is. Trial of Balls, man. Yeah, I mean, all three of these guys are like, I mean, this guy is the most memorable to me because he looks like number 2 from Kids Next Door, but I can't actually remember his name. And these two guys are like, who fucking, yeah. And even, okay, so Gidatsu and this guy are the most memorable. Gidatsu, because he's got a fucking comedy routine attached to him. Wow. But they're all pretty mid. Honestly, this guy is like, he does fucking nothing and just gets owned. So he's definitely down here. Gidatsu's likable. He's like up here at least. I want to say like it starts with a CH maybe. This guy. I mean he's. Yeah, I gotta put him up there with same with Gidatsu. And these two, like, they're low tier for sure. He's got a cool stretchy sword, I guess. And he's got a lance that's cooler than stretchy sword. Maybe not, actually. Stretchy sword might be cooler than lance, now I think about it. But yeah, I mean that's kind of where they go. I don't even fucking remember, like, this giant dog was with this guy, right? Like, he was part of that, but I honestly, if I was recounting Skypiea, like, if I was trying to remember everything that happened in Skypiea, that dog right there would not enter my mind. So, I have nothing against him, so he's just going low on mid. Wiper, pretty cool. I'm doing pretty good. He's like Pell tier. He certainly does more than Pell. And he's got a bazooka and like they're not like roller skates. They're like what do they call that? The dials on his feet that let him go kind of like ice skating across the clouds. Holy shit, we have a lot of characters to do. What do we? An hour and a half. Yeah, this is gonna be like a 4-hour video. I don't think I realized what I signed up for. We gotta power through. These are like the really generic, not generic. I mean, these guys stand out the most among the Shandians. But I don't remember any of their names. I don't know if they even got names. I do really like their designs though. Like this guy right here, with the dual pistols and the hat. I really like his design, and this spear guy is pretty fucking awesome too. But I mean, we got to be honest here. They're forgettable. I don't remember their names. I think they have pretty cool designs, so I'm gonna put them above the Unluckies. Well, not even, because I remember who the Unluckies are, and Mary. Yeah, so they're gonna go above the guy who gives out bounties. Or he doesn't give them out, but he discusses them. And these guys are like, I don't remember who these two are. And this is Apis, I think is her name. She's all right. I mean, she's like Patty and Carney. She doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah. Trying to remember this guy's name. It's escaping me right now. I know I should know it. This is Noland. And this is Calgara. That's his name. I mean, a very good part of Skypiea is the backstory, because that connects to Jaya and all that. Noland and Calgara, they're both pretty good, but I don't know if I would say I like them more than the Gorosei, even though the Gorosei haven't done a whole lot. So they're gonna go here. And Noland is better than Calgara, just because he's got a chestnut on his head. Okay, now we're into Long Ring Long Land. Yeah. So old man, I don't remember his name. Long Horse. I mean, these guys they're just forgettable. Like they all got to go down here. When I think of Long Ring Long Land, I definitely think of Foxy before I think of this fucking guy. and his horse. I mean, I don't know why the horse is even on here, but you know, gotta have every character accounted for. You know, they didn't account for the roach that was in full body soup on the bear ties, so I'm a little miffed about that. Anyhow, I mean, they have to go down here. Like, I don't hate them, but they're just like. Anyway, Foxy, Foxy. Look, here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people wrongfully shit on Long Ring Long Land because the Davy back fight was okay. We're gonna skip that song. Because the Davy back fight was not shown in battle. It was super playful. Like the stakes were seemingly not very high. And it was just a super unconventional way of dealing with a villain, like the entire Davy back fight situation. But I really like Long Ring Long Land, and I think Foxy probably could have been a better character for a Davy back fight than Foxy. But Foxy is not entirely hateable. Like, he's like Wapol level. You know what I mean? He's not as good as Wapol, though. I'm not going to go that far. He's... oh my god, people beat the shit out of me if I say he's better than Dragon. I mean, he's really not that bad. He's mid. I'm not gonna say he's pretty good, because I don't fucking love the guy. And honestly, they did that special, Adventure in Nebulandia, where he, like, comes back and they team up. And he's got this weapon. He's got this weapon that, like, shoots out miniature versions of his face, and they're like, fa, 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 fa. And that's just so... Foxy is funny. He's funny. I can't help the fact that every time I see him, I laugh, or think about him, I laugh, because he's just that fucking stupid. But yeah, that's a good spot for him right there. Now his two cohorts, her name starts with a P. Can't remember her name. It definitely starts with a P, though. I know that much. And I mean, I remember this guy for sure, but I don't remember his name at any capacity. Porsche is her name. They are more memorable than some of these guys down here in mid, so I'm gonna put her above the Unluckies, and I'm gonna put him below the Unluckies. Alright. Aokiji. Oh, man. See, it's when we finally get around to, like, the good characters that this gets exciting. Aokiji is like, he's definitely top tier. He definitely belongs up here somewhere. Probably the most fleshed out admiral, or ex-admiral. He's very, no pun intended, cool. His ice powers are pretty cool. His demeanor is very entertaining, honestly. His appearance in Film Z was pretty cool. I mean, he's just generally likable. We know he's super strong, and that he's with Blackbeard right now, which is interesting. But I think everybody's kind of under the assumption that he's a member of Sword, so he's kind of undercover. Which may or may not be the case. That's not a confirmation, but yeah, honestly, he's better than Crocodile. I don't like him as much as Sengoku, but he's up there. I really like him. Aokiji Kuzan up in top tier. Chimney and Gonbei, and the only reason I remember Gonbei's name is because he is with Chimney always. And whenever I think of Chimney, you also have to think of Gonbei. They're pretty good, honestly. They're like around here with Kaya and Nojiko. Gonbei, not as much. Gonbei's like fucking down here, like, yeah. I mean, that's a good spot for him right there. Better than these two blokes. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't really say a whole lot about those two characters. They accompany Kokoro. Um, we're getting into the really good shit right here with Enies Lobby, Water 7. This is the real shit. This is the real shit. Kokoro's fine. Probably, like, she's kind of a combo pack with Chimney, honestly. She's got more development than Chimney, though. She's in Frankie's backstory. They show her, like, working with Tom and stuff. So I'm gonna have to put her higher than Chimney, but not by much. Not by much. Frog. What's the frog's name? He has a name. I can't remember his name. He's a frog. He's a decent frog. Again, he helps lead the charge into Enies Lobby. He breaks down the fence, and I think he's got a little bit more like he's defending the Straw Hats when they're inside the courthouse before they cross the bridge. So he's got some stuff going on. But he's not super amazing. He is a frog, though. He is a frog. So you gotta give frogs credit where frogs credit is due. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's low on the pretty good spectrum, though. Above Wiper. He's above these guys, for sure. Not as good. Yeah. That's a place for him. Iceberg, he's fine. Iceberg, Lulu, Tilestone, and Polly. The actual members of the Galley Law. Iceberg's like... he's better than... Yeah, he's like Koza level. Lulu and Tilestone are like... They're kind of the same, like, general... They're better than these guys. Yeah, I mean, they're like at the same level as like Chimney and Kokoro. Now, Polly, on the other hand, I love Polly. Polly's great. When I was originally watching the series, I thought Polly was going to be the next Straw Hat, and I think people who were like actively reading or watching at the same time as it was being released might have thought the same. Until, we got to Enies Lobby and it became very apparent that Frankie was going to be the next Straw Hat. But, at first, I thought it was going to be Polly because he has a pretty decent connection to the Galley Law and everything that goes on in Water 7. He's got that emotional scene where him and Luffy are both, like, restrained in the room. And he cries out about his conviction and how he wants to help save Iceberg and the company. He uses ropes, dude. Like, the ropes are fucking awesome. And I don't even think the ropes are a Devil Fruit ability. You can just do that. So, Polly's top tier. Okay, let's calm down now. Because, is Polly better than Doflamingo? No, he's not. But he's up here, for sure. He's better than Creha. They're better than Mihawk. Yeah, that's where Polly's going. I really like Polly. That's where he's going. Whew, Rob, Lucci, and his pigeon, Hattori. Absolutely iconic character, Rob Lucci. You really, I mean, like, when you think of best fight scenes in One Piece, you got Katakuri and you got Rob Lucci. Best Luffy fights, I should say. And those are the two big ones. Lucci's great. I honestly, he's kind of like, in terms of writing, he's honestly a little shallow. He's just like a bad dude who wants to kill people, so he joined the world government so he could kill people with no repercussions. And that's about all the development he has. Like, that's where it stops. But I'm not going to put him in mid. He's at least pretty good. He's an excellent, like... See, I don't want to say he's an excellent villain. He has an amazing fight with Luffy, but that's really it. Like, his writing is actually not that good. He's still cool, though. So he's going up there. Hattori, the pigeon, is mid, for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, he can stay. I mean, you know, we got to go above some of these chumps down here, but he can stay down here. Rob Lucci, I just threw him up here. Yeah, see, but he's not as well written as Bellamy. That's the thing. So, but yeah, that's a good spot for Rob Lucci where I put him. Kaku. Now, oh man, I love Kaku. I love Kaku. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And let me get all the CP9 members up here. Up here, so we don't have to scroll down. Kaku actually has better writing than Rob Lucci because he's sort of a reluctant member of CP9. Like, he's in CP9, but I think he's really only there because he's like right-hand mans with Lucci, and when he gets defeated by Zoro, they have sort of a connecting moment. Kaku has way more personality than Rob Lucci. I'm not going to say that he has like more backstory or a more compelling reason to be in CP9, but he's a more fleshed out character, just in terms of personality and charm. So he's better than Lucci, for sure. And is he better than Pauly? They're about on the same level. I'd say I like him more than Mihawk, for sure. Who do we got next? Khalifa. She's kind of whatever. She has a little bit of personality as well. Better than these guys. I don't want to put her above Wapol. That's where she'll go right there. Bluno. Dude, Bluno's got it bad. It sucks for him that he was the first guy that Luffy went gear second on. But honestly, once again, his Devil Fruit power, very, very cool. The Door Fruit is pretty interesting. Unfortunately, he's kind of bland. You know, he's like, I just do my job, right? So, yeah, I mean, like, he's about the same level as, maybe a little bit less than these guys, honestly. Yeah, like right there. Jabra, actually do not like Jabra. He's got that, like, I'm a bloodthirsty killer because I ate the wolf fruit. Aha, right. I actually don't like him kind of at all. In fact, I'm going to put him in Don't Care For You. He's not good. He's not great. He's not great. And his fight with Sanji isn't that great either. I mean, Sanji's reveal of Diablo Jumbo was cool, but that's literally all that fight has. Not super interesting to watch. So, I mean, he's low. He's low tier. I don't know if he's this low. He's better than these guys. He's better than. Yeah. Yeah, he's there at least. Fukuro, we'll do Fukuro first because I like him less than Kumadori. He's alright. He's alright. He's better than Bluno. He's definitely has way more personality than Khalifa even. He was Frankie's first real fight. He's kind of cool. He's honestly kind of cool. I'd probably put him like not Laboon up here. That's a good spot for him. Kumadori. I love Kumadori, and he's very one note. Like, I mean, he's a gag character. Let's be honest. He's like yo yo, you know, the Kabuki theater type thing. I really, 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 really like the fact that he can control his hair. I like that he uses a pole as a weapon. You know, he fucking. I like that he like can change his body mass somehow. Like, no devil fruits involved. He just does it. He's awesome. He's awesome. I love the guy. But since he's a gag character, I can't put him as high as Rob Lucci. And he gets his ass fucking stomped by Chopper and Monster Point. He's one of my favorite CP9 members. Like it's probably Kaku and then him, honestly. He's awesome. I love Kumadori. He's better than Dalton. Yeah. Better than Dalton. That's where he'll be. Okay. Okay. We got to sort Nero. He's low. He's low tier. He's below Jabra. He's annoying little weasel motherfucker. Like, I don't think anybody likes Nero. There's probably some people who do. I can't say nobody likes him, but wow, he's just better than these guys. Yeah, he's worse than those guys though. Spandam. Okay, here's the thing. Everybody loves to hate Spandam. You know, completely understandable. He's Spandam after all. He's a piece of shit. But once again, in the same way that Wapol is well written because you hate him, Spandam is pretty well written because you hate him. He's written to be a schmuck and you want to punch him in the face. And yeah, you do want to punch him in the face. His motivations are kind of bland. Like, he just wants revenge for his father, I guess, but his father's motivations were pretty, like, I'm just doing what the world government tells me, which is fine. You know, it's a fine motivation, but it's not super interesting. So Spandam's definitely, like, mid. I'd put him above Wapol because he is more hateable than Wapol. Probably above Gin even, but yeah, that's probably where he'll go. And Funkfried, his fucking sword. Yeah, he's an elephant sword. He doesn't do anything. He extends like maybe twice. So like, you know, I mean, he's Funkfried. Like, he just kind of exists. He'll go here. Beneath the Unluckies, because he had less of an impact than the Unluckies, and he's just one of those, like, animal companion characters. It's... Alright, this guy has a name. I can't remember what his name is. He has one. It starts with a Z, I think? Like, Zaigetsu or something? I could be off. He's fine. He doesn't really do a whole lot. He's just part of the Frankie family. Now, I don't see any other members of the Frankie. I mean, Kiwi and Mozu are there. I guess Sodom and Gomorrah are there too. We'll get these guys over here. But he's kind of like the flag bearer for the Frankie family, besides Frankie, of course. So the fact that he like leads the charge with them and is kind of like the leader figure while Frankie's away, that's pretty cool. He doesn't really do anything super interesting, though. He's like... See, he's not as good at a character as Bluno. That's for sure. So he's like above Alvida and Foxy. But, like, not... Yeah, that's a good spot. Sodom and Gomorrah, you know, after recently watching through Enies Lobby with a friend... these guys had more development than I thought they had originally. They get like a little bit of backstory of like how they were found, and they were like in the belly of some sea king they fought, and or something like that, and they adopted them, and then they like die. Well, they don't die; they still live, but they get pretty fucked up. They're pretty likable. As far as animal companions go, they're pretty likable. Better than Foxy. Honestly, they're better than Frankie Family Leader Man. Better than Bluno, though? I don't know. That's where they go. Kiwi and Mozu. Now these two are pretty good. For one, that square hairstyle, sexy. But for two, I mean, they're Frankie's right-hand babes, you know? They do what they can for him, and in the raid on NS Lobby, they go up the tower, and they actually do stuff. Like, they've got scenes where they're fighting up the tower using their swords, and, I mean, they have scenes where they do shit, and they're likable. But in that way, they're like Pell and Wiper. They're in between them there. Because that's kind of where it stops. That's kind of the only thing they do is that scene where they go up the tower. So They don't really have a whole lot else going on for them. But I like them as Frankie's number 2. Tommy Tom. Tom with a Don, as Tom would say. Tom is pretty great. He's a backstory character. He's an old man. We gotta put that out there up front. He's an old man. He's also a fishman who built Roger's ship. He's cool, but is he as cool as Dorian Broggie? No. He's better than Mr. 3. Honestly, I think I should move Mr. 3 down below Bellamy. I think that's good right there. You know, Mr. 3 is better than Rob Lucci. That's just the way it is. T-Bone and Wanze. Wanze's really funny. I actually really like him. The way he uses pasta to fight. And honestly, that's one of Sanji's better moments, is when he uses the knives to cut up the pasta. Obviously that only works because Wanze's using food as a weapon, but Wanze is genuinely a funny character. His face is so weird looking. He's got goggle eyes. But I can't put him in pretty good because he's not actually an actual character. But I still like him enough. He's above Foxy. And he's above him as well. T-Bone, on the other hand, he has some, I can't even remember what his gag is, where he's he'll do anything for his, the crewmate bruised his arm, and he's like, oh no, here, take this, and he rips off his uniform as a bandage, and he always cuts at right angles. He's got some cool stuff going on, but he doesn't really do a whole lot. I always remember him though because of his face. His face is very distinct, and I always remember his name because his name is fucking T-Bone. But yeah, he's yeah, that's about where he'll go. Whew, my throat's starting to hurt. I'm gonna I gotta get some water. I'm gonna stop the recording here real quick.